Welcome to today's property investment analysis regarding Cable Plaza in the West Midlands. We'll be exploring if this £4 million office building is a smart investment. As a chartered surveyor, these are the points that jump out at me. The property is a fairly old purpose-built office building that has been the subject of a comprehensive refurbishment back in 2019. The 2019 works were undertaken to transform the building into a state-of-the-art music education facility. A quick web search reveals the previous occupier as Resonance Education. They are selling the building due to financial restructuring. But there is a press release stating they are keeping their options open as to future plans, subject to the outcome of the sale process. More on that shortly. Let's dive into the positives. The location is known as the Waterfront Business Park. It is a large office development with plenty of available parking. The area is an enterprise zone which benefits from business rates relief. The site has a good outlook, with a tranquil canalway that runs through the area. There is a nearby shopping centre, gyms, pubs, and other amenities for staff. With that said, this business park is too large for the location and occupancy has been a historic struggle. That is not to say that the location couldn't improve further. There are some major nearby companies and public sector occupiers, such as the NHS. There has also been some buildings converted to apartments, which is very encouraging for the area and takes some competing office space off the market. The location will benefit from improvement to public transport links in the future, with a direct tram line from Brierley Hill, linking to neighbouring towns and into Birmingham, the capital and major business hub for the Midlands. Whilst the building was most likely built some time ago, it has undergone a comprehensive refurbishment in 2019, and it is clear from the photographs that the property is in good condition. This means there is no immediate need to upgrade the building. As part of the refurbishment, the property achieved an EPC rating of B. This complies with current minimum requirements. Commercial EPCs are expected to have a minimum requirement of B by 2030. And so this is a real positive, and in terms of the interior, the refurbishment has created a good reception area with an open-plan central core to the building. This presents well to guests and would help if you wanted to let the building on a multi-tenanted basis. The layout of the building means it could be split into separate wings and various smaller letting suites. Smaller suites achieve higher rates per square foot in terms of rent, so exploring that letting strategy would increase the overall return from the building, albeit there would be much more asset management required from the owner. As mentioned previously, the building was extensively fitted out for the current owner, and it comprises studios, radio broadcast rooms, sound-proofed rehearsal rooms, music labs, and lecture facilities. Given the extent of the fit-out, it is likely the current owner would struggle to find another building that would suit their needs better than this building. Therefore, a key opportunity here is to purchase the building from the vendor and offer them a lease on favourable terms to remain on site. This could be at a reduced rent with fixed increases or at a full rent with a rent-free period. Why offer them such a good deal? Because this removes void risk, which is huge in the current office market. Buying the property with void risk would result in a discount on a capital value point of view, so to then begin generating income soon after could result in high returns. Furthermore, the building has new heating and cooling systems, upgraded IT services, 2 9-person lifts, 191 car parking spaces and raised floors. Another angle to consider is the possibility of a residential conversion. This would require evaluation of the local residential property market. However, other buildings nearby have been subject to residential development, which is encouraging. The only thing to note is as the property is leasehold, you may need consent from the freeholder and proper legal advice. The next positive is what the building could look like as a multi-let property. Opportunities such as improving tenant well-being on site is a good new angle, which helps meet company environmental, social and governance requirements. As new landlord, you could introduce amenities such as a gym, coffee shop, bar refreshments, showers, and other work provisions such as hot desking facilities. You could even reduce the car parking to provide courtyard-style green outdoor space for tenants. Another angle is to explore green walls, biodiversity on site and resource management such as solar panels, wastewater recycling and recycling initiatives. Improvements like this can entice new tenants into the building, and you can compensate for the costs by charging a higher rent. As the building is technically vacant, purchasing at this point, at the right price, should represent the bottom of the value cycle. Therefore, once up and let, The asset is then income producing, and the capital value would increase, providing you with significant upside. Now, let's consider the risks. The waterfront business park is quite large when you factor in overall demand for office space in this town. Therefore, there is plenty of letting competition, and this can result in slow rental growth and long letting voids. Brearley Hill is not a high-profile office location, and it is not comparable to the population densities of major cities in the region. Therefore, the occupier profile for this area is usually of lesser prominence. The external facade of the property does look aged, and it is a far cry from what modern and new office buildings now look like. Now offices benefit from much more glazing and sympathetic designs in terms of cladding materials. Albeit there is plenty of life left in the building. Given the layout, the floor plates seem fairly narrow, and most modern offices offer large rectangular open-plan floor plates. This is a limitation with the building, and naturally means the type of occupier that would consider the building is likely small and medium-sized tenants, with the possibility of some public sector tenants. The property is advertised as a vacant possession sale, and so you are buying a void building that is not generating any income. Letting periods for this park can be quite prolonged, and at 44,000 square feet, this is a lot of space to let up. It could quite easily take upwards of 2 years to fully let. Indeed, there would be some concern that 100% occupancy is not realistic in the current market. As discussed earlier, the best route would be to explore if the current owner would like to remain in the property, even at a reduced rent, or with a rent-free period to assist with their finances. The legal interest you are purchasing here is a long leasehold term for 150 years. It is a positive that the payable rent is a peppercorn, which is a legal term for no rent payable. This results in any income from tenants being a net return. However, leaseholds can be subject to repair obligations, access rights, and there may be some restrictions on use, or the ability to change the use in the future. You will need to confirm there are provisions in the lease to protect a bank in the event they lend on the property to confirm access to finance. Further, there will be requirements to gain consents from the freeholder, and so you should factor in some hassle premium here at the very least. Now, one of the key opportunities we have highlighted is securing a deal to keep the current occupier in the building. One thing to remember here is the business is selling for a restructuring reason. It is possible their financial standing is not positive. Therefore, whilst it would be excellent to get a new lease to a tenant as you purchase the building, if the tenant defaults, then you are back to square one with a vacant building. The mitigating factor here is the building is well specified and refurbished in the not too distant past, so should be let with minimal capital expenditure. However, it is likely large parts of the fit-out will need repurposing into meeting rooms and open-plan office floor plates. As it stands, if you bought the property vacant, repairs and maintenance will fall to you as the new owner. As the property is refurbished, I would not be too concerned by this. However, until the asset is let, you are liable for standing charges, the service charge for the wider park and building security, which can be a drag on annual returns until you find a tenant. This is a significant risk that requires a very clear asset management strategy. Each letting will also be subject to professional fees, which are usually 15% of the first year's agreed rent. To finish up, do we think this opportunity is a smart investment? With an asking price of £4 million, it would certainly be prudent to bid under asking price. We think a vacant office building of this size could be secured for a lower price. It would also be wise to explore how agreeable the current occupier would be to taking a lease on the building alongside the purchase. If so, this could be a very savvy acquisition. Thank you for joining us in this property investment analysis. Get in touch with suggestions for future videos, and links to the investment are in the description. For more insights and detailed property evaluations, don't forget to subscribe and hit the bell icon for notifications. This has been The Secret Surveyor, unlocking property investment secrets.